Today, what we're going to be doing is continuing on with what we started the last couple days. We're going to read our final and fourth article on concussion management. Today's class was comprised of my 10th grade in my physical therapy athletic healthcare program. In that program, we learn all the systems of the body, and this happened to be the end of the nervous system. So they've learned all the structures, the functions, the pathologies, and what I like to do within each one of the systems is to pick an article from the real world that's going to be talking about one of the pathologies. So this was the last article that we were reading within the nervous system, and it dealt with concussions. I was reading some of the articles that you posted and answers that you posted. We need to go into more detail. Okay, we really want to focus on formulating your opinions from the fact that's coming from the text. So after our warm-up, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But first, for your warm-up, I want you to review your vocab.
Coordinates muscular activity and balance for smooth movements. It's a part of the brain. Is it the hypothalamus? Cerebellum? Yeah, cerebellum. These nerves go to the eyes, forehead, upper jaw, and lower jaw.
Vestibulocochlear is the acoustic, like inner ear hearing. Glossopharyngeal is the muscles of the pharynx, the throat, and the tongue. Hypoglossal is the posterior portion of the tongue.
The note cards down, take out a blank piece of paper and start with your nervous map. Go as far as you can, okay? Common core shifts in this lesson we start with is seeing them really pick apart that academic vocabulary and getting that foundation knowledge. Because if you don't understand the vocabulary, you're not going to understand the big picture.
Wait, peripheral nervous system goes into the autonomic and
somatic.
All right, so now that your brains are all revved up and ready to go, let's learn what's going to happen to it if you get a concussion. So, Shayla, in your own words, can you tell me what a concussion is?
A concussion is when you receive a blow or impact to the head and your brain is jarred up inside and it crashes against the skull.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Anybody want to add to that?
When the brain is jarred up inside the head, the little nerves, like in your brain, the axons break and you lose connection, which can affect different parts of your brain and how you function.
Excellent. What are some signs and symptoms that may be exhibited by your athlete post-concussion?
Headaches are definitely a big one. You can feel nauseous, you can get dizzy, like blackout when you stand up fast or something.
The athlete could have amnesia and not remember how they got the head injury. They could lose coordination, lose their balance.
Excellent. From the articles that we have read together in the management of a concussion, the cognitive rest that's important of a concussion, and what's going to happen locally at your brain and systemically through your body, you, as that therapist, as that athletic trainer, are going to have to take care of this individual. What are some of the things you would do for an individual on the field that has a concussion?
Well, first I would move them off the field to the sideline, or if they have a back room, to place them down, sit them down, and I'll see if they can see right, if their movement's right, if they can balance themselves, if they can hear. Yeah.
Excellent. All good parts of those evaluations. So if we look at the articles that we've read, and I'm asking you to develop arguments on your opinions, which way is the best way to take care of a concussion. We have some new studies coming out that are, showing some different opinions. So what's essential in developing an argument? How do you think that you are going to make an argument be one that people are going to listen to, that your opinions are going to listen to? How are you going to back that up?
Well, you would probably use multiple different studies and compare the effects on the subjects, if the subjects play basketball, if they dance, if they play tennis, and how it affects their normal functions off the field.
Okay, good. So kind of piggybacking on that one, what's going to make that solid claim?
By using different amounts of articles, that way you know that the information you have is like true,
Okay.
and you can back it up.
Okay. So I'll help you out a little bit. The solid claim and then going on if it's good evidence. Again, looking at those studies, but then looking at the details within those studies, looking at the outcomes of them. You know, on your research article critiques, how I say, let's look at the population studied. We're going to pull that out. We're going to see what is actually being studied, what are the conclusions from that study. So we need to take all of those things into account to see if they're going to support what we're looking at, okay? And then recognizing unfamiliar terms and determining meanings. What's that mean, Taylor? What do I have?
This paper and pick out some words that you may know and some that you don't know, and then write the definition for it so you can learn it.
Excellent, okay? And why is that important? Why is using that academic vocabulary going to be important in your argument?
Well, like they use a lot of like words we've never heard of before, so we need to learn what they mean so it could help us in the future to understand, well, to get a better understanding of what we are reading.
Excellent. There are recent studies coming out that, hey, exercise and recovery of a brain injury may actually help a little bit. We read the other article that kind of showed the opposite of that, which was about the cognitive rest and how important that is. That means that you guys could get a note not to have to take a test or do all your assignments that week while you have the concussion. What were some other things in that article that were suggested for a student athlete? After they get that basic academic vocab down, we're going to go and we're reading more complex literature than they're going to get in their normal textbook. And post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms are very similar for those with concussion. So that's giving us the basis. It's what you read yesterday. And then they finally ended that article saying that, hey, exercise may help with these things. So they're saying, maybe we should start doing exercise a little bit earlier. So today we're going to read an article that is going to kind of highlight that. It's going to give you a different view of it. So what you're going to do in your groups, first we're going to read it together, help everybody out with some pronunciation. Then you're going to go, as we're going through, making sure you're highlighting any of that academic vocabulary, putting it on your sheet, looking those words up to actually find the meanings of them. Using our peer-reviewed article template that you have used before, and you'll do this as a group, answering why was it written, what's the issue studied, what's the research method, our population, results and findings from the researcher, conclusions, suggestions, and then numbers 8 and 9, what each of you are going to need to do together. So everybody look at those so we're clear on it. So suggestions from you for future research with supportive textual evidence to support your suggestions.
The use of exercise as a treatment for concussion is not clearly understood. Letty et al. Has suggested that an individualized progressive exercise program may have wide application for patients with mild to severe traumatic brain injury.
Everyone is having to read, everyone has to analyze, and everyone has to write. It doesn't really matter what area you're in, what technical area you may be teaching. It could be cosmetology, it could be all the way to construction. You're going to have new advancements in whatever career you have, and individuals within that career are going to be required to read up on those new advancements and then synthesize them in the brain and then perform what you need to do to stay up with your occupation. After reading these articles, I want you guys to formulate your own opinion. They have this nice little flow chart that they refer to, figure 1. I put it up here. It's also the last page in your article. So 3 to 10 days post-injury. They're saying, no, physical and cognitive rest is still recommended. But now they're coming up with these ideas of maybe only the 3 days. But I want you to make that decision, what you think. So now, in your groups, you're going to pick it apart. Okay, I want you first looking up that vocab. I know there's some words in there that you didn't know, so we're going to look them up. Even the ones that we've learned in the chapter, I want you to underline. Your neurotransmitter, your ANS, all of those different words that you have been exposed to, let's make sure we really know them. Okay, so start with the vocab, then get on to the peer review article, and then your classification notes. And then after you really analyze it, that is when you can synthesize and come up with your own opinions with your details. Okay? I'll be walking around and helping you.
maximum capacity, the ability to maintain cerebrovascular homeostasis can be disrupted. So every time it's like disrupted. It doesn't control or something like that.
Perfusion. Look up perfusion.
Hyperfusion?
Yeah, perfusion.
For introduction, I wrote concussion treatment isn't fully understood and exercise may enhance cerebrovascular autoregulation.
Did you get it from here?
Yeah, that one.
This one?
That sentence and then the first sentence.
The very first sentence?
Yeah.
Alright, so the first category would be like just the effects on the ANS.
After this lesson, they're going to come together on Monday, and we're going to be back in our groups, and we're going to, complete the categorization and the research article critiques and the vocab, and they will formulate their opinions, and then we're going to share them out. So we're going to hopefully get a little debating going on with the actual evidence from the exercise and concussion articles that they've read that will support their opinions. You see, we're kind of starting from you picking some journals and doing these classification notes on your own. Now I've added that you have to do those numbers 8 and 9, so you're actually having to think about them, synthesize things together, and then write about them. Common Core, to me, is common sense. I've seen the learning curve just go way up since September when I implemented this. Continue on with this, but we will finish this whole process on Monday, and then you'll be posting after Monday, because I think we need some more time on this, okay? Remember, practice your nervous tree over the weekend, so that's your homework. Make up note cards if you don't already have them, because I think that is starting to help a lot of people. And we'll finish up this chapter next Thursday, okay? All right, good job today, you guys.